Welcome to Subramani. Two questions sounds very different, but answer remains the same. One person came and asked me, Subra, how have you built this great brand called Subramani? And actually, she meant the blog. So this is one question, and the second question was another friend saying, "Why do you do this? Why do you go get up every day and put up videos, 1, 2, 3, whatever? Why are you doing it?" And honestly, I don't have an answer. So you'll have to go back a little bit in history. Sometimes some people come into your lives, do a small job, or they don't even know that they have impacted you, and they go away. So this man was a big publisher's younger brother, based out of Hong Kong. So I met him at some social event, and he said, "Why don't you write a book?" I think we have to go back maybe 2005 or 2007, and I was not too keen to do that. And I started. I think so. He said, "You write articles for magazines. You do a lot of training. Why don't you write a book?" And I said, "I'm not going to write 200 pages. Writing 200 pages is not easy." He said, "Nobody writes 200 pages. People write one page at a time. In 200 days, the book gets ready." I never thought of it that way. So I said, okay. So I started my blog. And now a blog has to have a name. There was no reason why I should have chosen any name, but I knew one thing, that I wanted to put my name there, right? So, but it could be Subra Speaks or something like that. So I was thinking of all this when a friend suggested it is Subra speaking about money, so it should be Subramani. Very good idea. So I'm not naming anybody because I do not know how many of them remember what they did, because my blog is really old. We are talking of 15 years, 13 years at least. So I said, look, I'm not, let me start my blog. And I used to be very happy that 15 people came to my blog or 17 people came to my blog and read it. Then I started getting feedback. Then people said, oh, this is right, that is not right. But I knew one thing, I had put my name there. I had to be authentic about what I was saying. So today, when I see some blogs and some social media people, whether it could be Instagram, Twitter, I have spoken to one or two of them, and they say, "Acha, I didn't know this had happened." Then I realized that they have a team which does it, right? I don't have a team. Me, myself. I do the recording, I do the editing, I do the posting, I do everything. There is no team of mine, right? So I said I have to be authentic. So whatever I say or whatever I used to write had to be mine. It had to go under my hand. It had to be typed by me, right? I could have heard it somewhere. Is it anything original? No, there is nothing original. After reading Vyasa and Valmiki, you realize that everything is a derivative from the Mahabharata or the Ramayana. Bhagavatam, Ramayana, Mahabharata, these are the sources for everything. So whether I am talking about how to live minimalistically, or whether to buy a 5 crore Mercedes Benz, I am talking about all these things. These are based on personal experiences. So who comes to my blog? Well, there is one family with a net worth of about 23,000 crores last time we saw, and that family also comes to my blog, right? So this is obviously somebody really big, and obviously I'm not naming them. And there are also people who say, I've got 3 lakhs of annual income, I've got 5 lakhs of annual income, how should I invest, right? I get all kinds of people. I get people who love equities, I'll get people who hate equities, I'll get people who love real estate, and some people who hate real estate. I get all kinds of people, but largely my view is a lot of them are mathematically a little challenged. So any of these problems in life, there is no problem in life which is not solvable, right? You have to be, especially financial problems, you have to be able to put it in an Excel sheet and calculate for yourself, and then decide, right? Should I stay in a rented house or should I stay in a own house? Mathematical answer and emotional answer. You have to make sure what do you like and what do you want to do, right? So similarly, so first of all, I said everything that I do, I will be authentic about. There is no doubt about that. Second, I said I'll keep doing it. Whether I get good feedback, bad feedback doesn't really matter. So मैं करता रहूँगा. I will be persistent about what I do, and I will do only subjects which I know. So will I do something like will I write a blog, or will I do videos on health and exercise and diet? No, but I can tell you what worked for me, right? But I can't tell you how it generally works. For example, I wouldn't say I stayed in a rented house for 15 years, so you should say, but I can do the math and tell you. I can also tell you that today landlords are more worried that tenants will leave rather than being asked by the landlord to leave. Landlords are more worried than tenants are. But that's your call, whether to invest in equity, whether to invest in debt, whether to do an SIP in the mutual fund, whether to do a PMS. Everything is your call. I can only tell you that sometimes SIP works, sometimes PMS works, sometimes buying stocks off the market works. Sometimes nothing works. Markets can be bad. Sometimes you can underperform the index. It doesn't matter. As long as you know that you have these goals and those goals have to be achieved and you're going towards it, that's fine. So I said I will be regular, I will be authentic, and everything will go under my hand. I will not have a team. There is some problem with teams because then your views may not match, and so I didn't want anybody other than me to handle this, and that's it. So then I started my blog. My blog was running well. Then I got lazy and I said, okay, it was easier for me to shoot a video than to write a script, right? So, but I still do some of my like how a company can add shareholder value cannot come offhand, right? This is offhand. I'm not even looking at anything else. Will I be able to do such videos always on all subjects? Mostly yes. But if I have to talk about the SEBI regulation about financial influencers, I will need to read the SEBI notification, what has happened, read it. So I put it on my laptop, which is sitting next to me, and read out from there, because those have to be legally right? I cannot make a mistake in that. So similarly, yesterday I also got another person saying, will you do a portfolio review? I said, I normally don't do it. And I said, where is your money? What have you done? So he said, oh, I put it on 3 PMSs. I said, I will not comment on the work done by somebody else. It's none of my business, right? So similarly, another person called and said, we want to deal with this financial influencer. Can you check whether he's good? And I said, look, that's not my job, right? To say whether a financial influencer is doing a good job, I have to go through all his work, because even if I find one thing wrong, I'm going to say, oh, this is wrong, there were some mistakes. But to them, for selling their product, if they're going to use that financial influencer, how does it matter to me? Why would I do a job like that? It's not a question of whether I get paid. Of course I'd get paid. Do I want to do such work? No, I don't want to do such work. Do I want to manage your money? No, I don't want to manage your money. But I talk to fund managers. I talk to people who manage other people's money, people who run PMSs. I talk to advisors. I talk to investors. I talk to a lot of people. To me, every meeting, every word I say, every word I read is perhaps a chance to create a video out of it, or create if you make 3 videos a day, that's about 1,000 videos plus a year, right? So you need topics. So to me, those are largely ideas which I get, and anything, whether if I read a book on minimalism, or if I read a book on somebody has written about IFAs, about MFDs, any of those things to me is a chance that I can talk to you about it. After that, it is up to you whether to come, whether to see, whether to subscribe. And I also don't like to keep saying, please subscribe, please hit the bell icon. Though of course, feels good to say, oh, I've got so many subscribers. That brings me to one more topic. Am I a financial influencer? Well, SEBI says you have to have 1 million followers. I am nowhere near that. At 50,000, there is no chance that I will become a financial influencer in this life. Maybe in my next life I will become. And the day I drop dead, this channel will stop, right? I don't think anybody else is going to do a Subramani out of this. I mean, they can create their own brands. That is a different thing. So it's a very simple thing. Start. First of all, start. Second, be authentic in what you're doing, and third, be persistent. Don't be afraid that somebody comes and says, oh, this is not good. To me, it doesn't matter. To me, what matters is somebody says it's good. So if 15 people say it's good and one person say it's not good, then that is the ratio that I look at. And if some 500 people say it is good but another 300 people say it's not good, to me it still doesn't matter, because I'm catering to the 500 who are saying it's good. And there is an option, those who don't like can leave, right? They need not come and I mean, they can still come, comment, whatever, but I will not stop because somebody says it's not good. So this should summarize subramani.com. Thank you. Or Subramani, the YouTube channel, PV Subramaniam, the YouTube channel, everything is the same. So I am PV Subramaniam, and when you say Subramani, it is Subra talking about money. That is how the name, everything is mine, and I will be persistent. And I mean, I needed a kick in the in month of March 2020 to say, look, I can't go out and buy a good camera, so it's with the phone that I have to do it. So I had a OnePlus camera, then patriotism or anti-China sentiment, now it's a Samsung camera. Other than that, there is no other. Of course, I use a mic, which I was not doing earlier. So those are learnings on the way, where people came and said, Subra, you need to use a mic, otherwise people can't hear. So all those things happened. And I've also realized that if I do a longish how a company can add value to its shareholders, and that is 17 minutes, that gets 1000 views. But if I say what happened to PR Sundar or something like that, or Mercedes and SIP, I get 6000, 7000 hits. I think that should summarize as to how much of learning people do in on the YouTube channel, and how much people love gossip. And about Sundar, I am not gossiped at all, right? But the headline said Sundar, and I got 7000 hits. Thank you, Sundar, but I really don't do tech trading. Thank you.